Hello. Have you ever wondered why, as people get older, they seem to prefer solitude over social visits? Could it be that they've experienced enough of life to value their own company more? Today, we're diving into the intriguing reasons behind this shift from sociability to solitude in old age. We'll share real-life stories and explore why this change happens and what it means for those in their older years. The transition from sociability to solitude. As we age, our social patterns often change dramatically. In youth, we are naturally inclined to be sociable, seeking out friends and enjoying frequent gatherings. However, as we grow older, there's a noticeable shift towards solitude. This transition is not necessarily negative. It reflects a deeper understanding and acceptance of life's realities. Experiencing life circles. In our younger years, we engage in social activities to explore and experience life. Social gatherings, parties, and frequent meetups are part of discovering who we are and where we fit in the world. However, by middle and late adulthood, many have seen it all and prefer to step back from the social scene. Take, for instance, Mr. Johnson, who was once the life of every party. In his 20s and 30s, he hosted numerous get-togethers, enjoying the vibrancy of having friends around. But now, in his 60s, he prefers quiet evenings at home with a book or in his garden. He says, "I've enjoyed my share of social interactions. Now, I cherish my peace and quiet." Building and maintaining friendships. In our youth, we often believe in the ideal of deep, sincere friendships. Calling friends over to eat and chat at home is a way to enhance these bonds. The freedom of home gatherings allows conversations to flow more naturally, strengthening friendships. Mrs. Davis, now 70, reminisces about the days when her home was a hub for friends. She enjoyed the unstructured nature of home gatherings, which were different from the formality of restaurants. "Back then," she recalls, "having friends over was the highlight of my week. It deepened our connections." However, over time, she noticed that some friendships weren't as genuine as she thought, leading her to value fewer but more meaningful relationships. The influence of hypocrisy in social circles. With age, people often become more perceptive of hypocrisy in social interactions. This realization can lead to a preference for solitude over maintaining insincere relationships. The adage, "Those who approach red become red, those who approach ink become black," highlights how one's environment influences behavior and perceptions. Uncle Lee, a man in his late 50s, has distanced himself from his once extensive social circle. "I used to enjoy the company of many," he says, "but over time, I realized many were just being polite, not sincere. It's better to be alone than in the company of hypocrisy." Adapting to new lifestyles. Aging brings about lifestyle changes that influence social habits. The desire for a peaceful, quiet life often outweighs the need for frequent social interactions. Mr. Brown, a 65-year-old retiree, enjoys his solitude. He spends his days gardening, reading, and enjoying tea, activities that bring him joy and tranquility. "I've seen enough in my years," he says. "Now, I prefer the simplicity of my own company and the comfort of my home." Challenges with social visits. Social visits in old age can sometimes be seen as disturbances rather than enjoyable interactions. Each family has its dynamics, and an unplanned visit can disrupt the household. This was the case for Mr. Lee, who enjoyed frequent visits from a childhood friend. Initially, these visits were a delight, but over time, they became a burden. "My friend's wife started showing signs of discomfort," Mr. Lee explains. "I realized that my visits, although welcomed at first, were becoming an inconvenience." Trouble from frequent visits. Frequent visits can also lead to unintended troubles. Mrs. Wong, an elderly lady, used to enjoy visiting her neighbors to pass the time. However, she found that these visits often led to gossip and misunderstandings. One particular incident with her daughter-in-law highlighted this issue. During a casual chat, a comment she made about her daughter-in-law was misunderstood and blown out of proportion. "It created a rift in my family," she says. Now, I prefer to stay home and avoid such conflicts. Economic disparities and psychological impact. Economic disparities can also influence social interactions among the elderly. Regular visits between families of different economic statuses can create feelings of inferiority or superiority. Mrs. Chan, a widow living on a modest pension, felt uncomfortable visiting her wealthier friends. "I started feeling out of place," she recalls. "Their lifestyle was so different from mine, and it made me conscious of my own financial situation." Modern trends, digital connection, and solitude. In today's digital age, technology offers an alternative way for the elderly to stay connected without frequent physical visits. Many older adults are embracing digital communication tools to maintain relationships. While it's not the same as in-person interactions, it provides a means to stay in touch while enjoying the comfort of their own homes. Finding joy in solitude. For many elderly individuals, solitude is not about loneliness, but about finding joy in their own company and hobbies. Mr. Thompson, an avid gardener, finds immense satisfaction in tending to his plants. "My garden is my sanctuary," he says. "It's where I find peace and contentment." Maintaining selective social interactions. Selective social interactions become more common as people age. Instead of broad social circles, many older adults choose to maintain a few close relationships. These selective interactions are often more meaningful and fulfilling. Mrs. Patel, a retired teacher, keeps in touch with a handful of close friends and family members. "Quality over quantity," she emphasizes. "I prefer deep, meaningful conversations with a few rather than superficial interactions with many." The role of community and support networks. Communities and support networks play a crucial role in the lives of the elderly. While they might prefer solitude, having a supportive community can provide the necessary social interaction and assistance when needed. Many older adults find comfort in community activities that don't demand constant social engagement, but offer a sense of belonging. Mrs. Green, an 80-year-old widow, moved to a retirement community where she could balance her need for solitude with occasional social activities. "I love my quiet time," she says, "but it's nice to know there are friendly faces around when I feel like chatting." Balancing solitude and social interaction. The key to a fulfilling life in old age is balancing solitude and social interaction. It's about knowing when to enjoy your own company and when to reach out to others. Mrs. Evans, an 80-year-old widow, perfectly exemplifies this balance. She enjoys her solitude but also participates in community events and activities. "I love my alone time," she says, "but I also understand the importance of staying connected." Health benefits of solitude. Solitude can have significant health benefits, especially for older adults. It provides a space for relaxation and stress relief, which can improve mental health. Studies have shown that solitude can enhance creativity and problem-solving skills, providing a mental boost that's beneficial at any age. Dr. Roberts, a psychologist specializing in geriatric care, explains that solitude allows older adults to engage in self-reflection and mindfulness practices, which can lead to improved mental clarity and emotional stability. "It's a time for them to recharge and reconnect with themselves," she notes. Social visits and mental health. On the flip side, maintaining some level of social interaction is crucial for mental health. Social visits, even if infrequent, help combat feelings of isolation and loneliness. These interactions provide a sense of connection and belonging, which is essential for emotional well-being. Mr. Carter, who lives alone, makes it a point to visit his local senior center once a week. "I enjoy my solitude," he says, "but those weekly visits keep me grounded and give me something to look forward to." Adjusting to new social norms. As society changes, so do the social norms for older adults. The expectation to maintain an active social life can sometimes feel overwhelming. However, understanding that it's okay to prioritize solitude and personal comfort over social obligations can be liberating. Miss Thompson, a retired nurse, found peace in redefining her social boundaries. "I used to feel guilty for not attending every social event," she shares, "but now I listen to my needs and do what feels right for me." Encouraging healthy social habits. For those who struggle with finding the right balance, it's helpful to develop healthy social habits. This might include setting aside specific times for social interactions and ensuring these engagements are enjoyable rather than obligatory. It's about quality, not quantity. Mr. Parker, an 85-year-old artist, has a simple rule. He only attends social gatherings that bring him joy. "Life is too short to spend time on things that don't make you happy," he says. "I focus on meaningful interactions and let go of the rest." Embracing change. Ultimately, the shift from sociability to solitude in old age is a natural part of the aging process. Embracing this change allows older adults to find joy in their own company and live a life that aligns with their true selves. It's about recognizing that solitude can be a source of strength, comfort, and happiness. As we age, our social preferences naturally evolve. The shift from sociability to solitude reflects changing priorities and a deeper understanding of life. Embracing this change allows the elderly to find peace and contentment in their own company while still maintaining meaningful relationships and connections. Whether through selective social interactions or embracing solitude, the key is finding what brings joy and fulfillment in the golden years. By understanding and respecting these shifts, we can better support our aging loved ones and appreciate the beauty and wisdom that come with choosing solitude. Ultimately, it's about recognizing that both solitude and social connections have their place and value, contributing to a balanced and fulfilling life. Thank you for watching today's video. If you found this information helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more tips on living a fulfilling life in your golden years. Remember, your journey to a happy and harmonious later life starts with making mindful choices today. Until next time, take care and cherish every moment.